太平洋、印度洋、大西洋、北冰洋、欧洲、亚洲、非洲、美洲、大洋洲、东亚、南亚、西亚、东南亚、韩国、朝鲜、蒙古、日本、越南、印度、缅甸、老挝、新加坡、菲律宾、尼泊尔、印度尼西亚、孟加拉、亚美尼亚、斯里兰卡、冰岛、丹麦、瑞典、芬兰、波兰、捷克、德国、法国、奥地利、俄罗斯、乌克兰、爱尔兰、匈牙利、南斯拉夫、摩尔多瓦、比利时、爱沙尼亚、拉脱维亚、玻利维亚、阿尔巴尼亚、贝宁、埃及、多哥、加蓬、刚果、马里、汤加、喀麦隆、摩洛哥、冈比亚、赞比亚、赤道几内亚、澳大利亚、新西兰、塞尔瓦多、尼加拉瓜、洪都拉斯、墨西哥、美国、加拿大。
Welcome, Julien. You are a Frenchman who is rapidly becoming known as a master of a Chinese performing art called crosstalking. How did you get to China and start studying crosstalking?
Oh my God! First of all, I'm not a master, but I got to China actually as out of pure curiosity. So it took me a few years, and going through a lot of different, a month of studying, a month of teaching, and different jobs. Then I came to Beijing for a CCTV show in '04. I had met Mr. Ding, who's my master, as we call it in China, 师傅. I met him actually back in year 2000, the first time I was in China, but we had kept in touch just once a year. So finally in '04 I came to Beijing. It was not for him, it was for a TV show, but the TV show lasted 2 months. And then I was there already starting to do shows with him, learning with him. And also I got to do a lot, because I do actually more hosting now, hosting of the TV shows or big gala events. I was hosting the BTV Spring Festival Gala this year, the Henan TV last year, and I do a lot of shows during the Olympics too, hosting. Also, it's a lot I do now. The crosstalks, the 相声 as we call it in Chinese, it's comedy first of all. So what they call crosstalk is just a Chinese traditional form of comedy. So usually it's two people. It can be 3 or 4 or 5 or 1 telling a story, but in a certain way. Usually, most of the time, it's 2 people. One talking a little bit more, the other one talking a little bit less. They each have their roles. At the end of the day, it's really pure work on comedy. So it's a work on culture, how to approach people, you see an audience, you have to be able in a few minutes time, and of course in a few seconds it's even better if you can do it, to feel how the audience is today, what cultural background they have, because you don't play the same thing if you're in let's say a real xiangsheng club in Beijing or in front of a TV audience in Guangdong. So it's really a very, very interesting way to learn Chinese culture really in a deeper way, which is to learn everybody's culture, to be able to pick those things.
What are the different components of xiangsheng? Because it's not just talking, there are also this singing, this music, isn't there? There are a number of traditions you have to draw on to be a competent xiangsheng performer.
Well, you can always, every xiangsheng actor has his different ways, you know. So some focus more on singing because they have a nice voice or they like to sing, they sing well. Singing then will include anything from the minge, the folk songs, to the Peking opera, to all forms of different traditional local operas. Dou part is really important, because in order to make people laugh, you really have to know their culture. You have to know if this will make them laugh or not. Before you say, you have to kind of feel it. This is what, as foreigners, we need somebody like Miss Ding who really guides us, because it's really hard. I mean, as good Chinese as you can speak, to really know what people will find funny, it takes so much. I mean, I don't think most people are even able to do that in their mother language.
Absolutely. But how do you feel as a foreigner working in a very traditional Chinese art? What's the reaction of the audience? And
there's the foreigner factor, which is that it's usually easy to captivate people's attention when you're on stage, because as soon as I'm standing there, even on TV, I'm not even talking of a stage, even on TV, I mean, people are just, just switching through channels, and suddenly there's a foreigner there. Usually
speaking excellent Chinese.
Chinese, and suddenly they're going to stop there for a few seconds, just to hear what you're saying. So this is the foreigner factor is nice here, because it's easy to say, oh yeah, those foreigners on TV, what they do. And so we're trying to do good quality things. We're trying to prove to people that we are at a level where we can compete on a stage with a lot of other Chinese actors. I used to really not like people seeing me as a foreigner because I was trying to really study good Chinese. I was speaking fluent Chinese, and I was thinking, why do you have to remind me every second that I'm a foreigner? At some point you realize that never forget who you are when you're there, and that kind of made me realize that when you're standing on the stage, whatever you do, you will be a foreigner. At the end of the day, whatever your Chinese sounds like, at the end of the day, it's about the stage art. It's about really doing a good performance.
Is there anything you could do? I don't know, a small little demonstration of some kind of cross-talking? I mean, what is there something you can think of that would be a little bit accessible to foreigners that you could explain?
Really accessible to foreigners, let me think.
I mean?
Well, I can do a thing that I do, which is we call that 贯口. So we usually started like saying, "Oh, I wanna invite you to dinner." So when you all not too much, let's say 蒸羊羔、蒸熊掌、蒸鹿眼、烧花鸭、烧子鹅、卤猪、卤鸭、酱鸡、腊肉、松花小肚、晾肉、香肠、什锦酥盘、熏鸡、白肚、清蒸八宝猪、江米酿鸭子、罐焖鸡、罐焖鸭、山鸡、兔脯、菜蟒、银鱼、清蒸哈什马、烩鸭丝、烩鸭腰、烩鸭条、清拌鸭丝、焖黄鳝、焖白鳝、豆豉鲶鱼、锅烧鲤鱼、清蒸甲鱼、抓炒鲤鱼、抓炒面鱼、软炸虾腰、软炸鸡、炸白虾、炝青虾、炸面鱼、炝竹笋、川鱼、溜黄鳝、芙蓉燕菜、炒虾仁、烩虾仁、烩银丝、烩海参、烩个蛋、炒蹄筋、蒸南瓜、酿冬瓜、炒丝瓜、酿倭瓜、焖鸡掌、焖鸭掌、溜鲜蘑、溜鱼腐、溜鱼肚、溜鱼骨、溜鱼片、醋溜鱼片、三鲜木须汤、红丸子、白丸子、酥枣丸子、南煎丸子、赶掌丸子、饸饹丸子、三鲜丸子、四喜丸子、葱花丸子、豆腐丸子、一品肉、马牙肉、红焖肉、白片肉、樱桃肉、米粉肉、坛子肉、炖肉、大肉、松肉、烤肉、酱肉、酱豆腐肉、烧羊肉、烤羊肉、涮羊肉、五香羊肉、煨羊肉、汆三样、爆三样、清炒三样、灰虾子、溜白菜、碎三鲜鱼、炙栗子鸡、煎汆、活鲤鱼、板鸭、筒子鸡。That's it. Yeah.
That's memorized.
That's memorized. Well, I actually have to do a lot of those. I memorize. I mean, a lot of what I memorize too is just for one particular show, which is what Mr. Ding does, and why people really love to invite us. Because, let's say there's a new development in any city of China, sometimes very small cities, and so Mr. Ding is gonna take all the all the information about about what they're doing, about their culture, their history, even the politics. And he's going to write something according to it, so using their own information and writing some kind of, this kind of 贯口.
A lot of foreigners love to hate Dashan.
Yeah,
and they love to they look at crosstalk and they think, what is this Tai Tula or something like that? I mean, I think it's a real shame.
It's a real shame.
What can we say to make these people interested in crosstalk?
Well, I'd say, first of all, think of it as comedy. And also, something that is important is people don't see how good people are, how good Dashan is, because it takes a lot of work to get there, to be able to make people laugh the way he does. It's not easy. We usually see comedy we don't understand as bad comedy. This is the way people are, even in your
If
in
it
your
doesn't
own
make
country.
them laugh, they think it's bad.
I mean, I'm sure people who love a certain form of American comedy will look at Monty Python and say, "What the hell is that?" And we don't realize why they laugh at that. Because I used to think that it was not funny. I used to think that I understood it and it was really stupid. And now I laugh at it. Why? Because I learned Chinese. Because I learned I learned the Chinese culture. I learned the environment. I'm learning why they find it funny. And once I'm inside their culture, I understand. So it's a learning process. I don't think we even have the right to say if it's funny or not, if we are not at a really good level in Chinese and understanding of the Chinese culture. But we have to have our laughs. I think this is the greatest thing. It's contagious, when somebody is laughing around you and everyone's laughing, you kind of find things funny. And you're not gonna kind of question the veracity of it really being funny or not, because at that time we had a good laugh. It was so funny. So this is the only thing. Why do you question the reason why you laugh? I think it's a valid point.